So learners, in the meantime, we'll be looking at the languages of a winner who is proactive. The languages of a winner include "I'll do it." The winners, they take initiative and make things happen. "I can do better." Proactive people are always looking forward and making sure that they can do better in everything they do. Let's look at all options. Learners, as winners, we have to look at all options and come up with a solution and come up with something that is tangible and has a good result. Moving on to the fifth language of a winner, which is "there's got to be a way." Learners, winners, they don't quit. They always find a way to make things happen. So we move on to the sixth aspect, which is "I'm not going to let your bad day ruin my day." A winner doesn't make someone's bad day to ruin his day or her day. They make sure that all the negative influence they can get won't affect them. So learners, we have talked about the language of a winner who is proactive. Now we move on to the language of a loser who is reactive. The languages of a winner, the first one is "I'll try." Losers, they will say "I'll try" and never try. And this makes them losers. Why? They don't want to be committed. They are afraid of committing fully to their tasks and goals. On the second aspect, or the language of the losers, that's just the same way I am. So losers, they say that's just the way I am. They don't want to change. They don't want to find other options. They don't want to hear other opinions. They just relax and say, "I can't do it. That's the way I am." The third aspect is the losers. There's nothing, they always say, "There's nothing I can do. This is the situation I am in. I cannot do anything. What am I supposed to do? Let me just be myself like this. I cannot do anything." That's the language of the losers. Yet there are solutions there. Moving on, losers, they are easily ruined. Losers are easily affected. They are easily affected by the words of other people, which they can take blame and say, "I didn't do this because you affected my day. I didn't reach my goal because you affected my day." Now learners, as we have talked about the languages of a winner and the languages of a loser, we move on forward to the characteristics of a winner and the characteristics of a loser. But first, we like to start with the characteristics of a winner. One would like to know and understand the characteristics of a winner. Firstly, winners, they take initiative and make things happen. The second characteristics of a winner is winners, they think about solutions. These solutions, where there is a problem, winners, they always find a solution to that problem and they make things better. Moving on to the third characteristics of a winner. Winners, they act. They take the initiative. They don't make things to happen to them, but they act on things to happen. So now we have looked at the characteristics of a winner. Now moving on forward, learners, would like to look at the characteristics of a loser. What are the characteristics of a loser? Starting with, they wait for something to happen to them. They don't want to act, but they wait for something to happen. On the second aspect, the losers think about problems. They always want and think about problems. They don't want to think about solutions. Moving on to the third aspect, losers are acted upon. They are acted upon, why? Because they are influenced by external factors which then affect their decision making. Yet they will be blaming others for that decision they make.